The best way to get started understanding argument evaluations, assessing arguments, understanding arguments in general, is to actually consider a couple of examples, and that's what Feldman has us do in his textbook. And what I'm going to suggest is let's take a look at the first example, the one that's on the screen. And here's what I would like you to do. Whenever we come across examples like this, I want you to stop and I want you to read it yourself first, because the one key to being able to understand and evaluate arguments found in writing is to read them slowly and make sure you understand the points that are being made. So what I want you to do is stop the recording and sit down and read through this example 1.1. This happens to be a letter that was written to the editor of a newspaper in Rochester, New York in about 1989. But read it and then we will read it together. Now that you've read it, let's go through it one more time slowly. It had a title, Where Were You Then? I have a few questions for those who have raised their voices against the recent Supreme Court decision to preserve our constitutional right to engage in symbolic acts of protest, including the burning of the American flag. Are you as outraged when our Constitution is assaulted? Did you protest when the constitutional rights of black citizens were denied? Did you work for their right to vote, to equal education, to fair housing? Have you spoken out against the assault on our Constitution by the illegal maneuvering of the boys in the White House during the Iran-Contra affair? In short, can you honestly say that you love your flag when you've been silent in protecting all that it stands for? Why don't you take a minute, think about it. Here, and this is a context in which we find many arguments, letters to the editor in the editors in newspaper, very often letters written into news programs contain arguments. People are upset about something, they disagree with something, they're trying to present reasons for a certain conclusion. How do you think that the woman who wrote this letter did? Now I'd like you to actually sit down and write it down, because what I find is it's easy for us to say, yeah, well, I think this, I think that, but when you sit down and you write something down in response, you're actually taking what is said more seriously. So write it down. Be prepared to submit it. Write down your thoughts on whether this is a good, bad, persuasive, whatever argument.